us part, they'll call our crimes.
Hello everyone, it's me, Good Boy Halo, and today we'll be doing What If Deku was born with Greninja's abilities. He will be born as a Froakie and will go to Frogadier and then Greninja in his stages of life. So first, we start off in the hospital with Inko. When Izuku is born, Inko's she's kind of like, this is not my kid. This could not be my kid. And she honestly doesn't accept him. So she lives with Izuku for a year, but it just feels off to her. So one day, when Izuku is playing, she says, "Hey Izuku, let's go to the park." And she grabs Izuku and they get in the car. But in reality, Inko is taking Izuku to the adoption center because she just doesn't feel it's right. So, Deku is an orphan now. But 2 years later, one day Deku is inspected by Froppy's family because they're looking to add someone to their frog family. And when they see Deku, he kind of looks like a frog, and they adopt Deku. And now Deku is a member of the Froppy family. And Froppy starts to warm up to Deku slowly over the years. So when Deku and Froppy go into preschool, they're in the same class, by the way. And this is not the same school as Bakugo and Deku went in the original story. So we don't have Bakugo to bully Deku, because if Bakugo is here, he'd probably bully Deku for his looks. And he will come in the later story though. Don't worry, guys. So in elementary school, one day, Deku throws a water ball, like right here, in this part. So one day, when Deku and Froppy are playing with each other in the backyard, Deku throws a water pulse at her, and she's kind of hurt by it because it's high pressurized. It's very high pressure water. So Deku knocks Froppy onto the ground with this, and in normal Deku fashion, gives her a hand. And in normal Deku fashion, he helps Froppy up and asks if she is okay, because he's worried about her. Deku and Froppy have been slowly growing a bond over the years, and they've become really close. So next, in the first day of middle school, Deku and Froppy, they have a training session, because one day they want to become great heroes and protect their families and their family, and they have a training session. So while they're fighting, Deku has now gained some good control over his moves, like water pulse and stuff like that. And now he knows tackle, like in this. So he knows those Pokemon moves. And while they're training, when Deku collides with Froppy with a tackle, Froppy is on the ground, and right as Deku is lending a hand to her, he evolves into a Frogadier. Okay, guys, and this is what he looks like as a Frogadier. And then he's adjusting to his new form, and Froppy is very fascinated. I didn't know you could evolve. And Deku's like, yeah, that's a good word for it, evolve. And then he fires a water pulse, but he sees it's stronger. It's much stronger, and when Froppy tries to dodge it, it hits her foot, and she like goes to the ground with it because the pressure had gone much higher because he had just evolved. So in Pokemon terms, he is now level 16. That's not his age though. And so let's time skip to the second year of middle school. He's now making some new friends. And his friends are also Pokemon. Those friends are Quilava and Luxio. Because if there is a Pokemon quirk right now, in the populace, they're in their middle evolution to where in middle school. So when they get to high school, they'll be at their final evolution if they have 3 evolutions, though. So say it was, what's a good idea for a first evolution? Let's say it's an Arceus. That's random. Maybe they're God. And they'll only have 1 evolution, but they'll be small. So, like Deku, he's bigger than this. He's definitely bigger than this. He's probably Greninja's height by now, but as a Frogadier. Because we don't want that. Banned. Okay. So, in the 3rd year of middle school, him and Froppy, they're really close friends, and they've made a little friend group with a guy with a dragon quirk and his Quilava and Luxio friends. And that's how far he's got with friends so far. He actually excels in math because why not? Too cute to pass up. And I just feel he'd be great at making friends. So he's also quite popular. But his main friends are the guy with the dragon quirk, Luxio, and Quilava. So, when the year ends, one day when Froppy and him are going down a shortcut to his house, the sludge villain appears. And this is after the first part of the sludge villain. So, even when no one was there, All Might still catches him, but the bottle still comes out. So, in that alley you saw Bakugo in the anime, that's where they get jumped by the sludge villain. And he grabs both of them and maybe tries to get... Actually, no, that won't work. Let's just say he goes into Froppy's body. And Deku is trying with all of his might to get her out. And while doing this, he punches the sludge villain and nothing happens. So he throws a water pulse at him and it's actually doing somewhat damage. But then when Froppy starts becoming unconscious, Deku evolves into Greninja. And should we put a Okay, guys, ignore what I just said. So, as a Greninja, without knowing what it is, he throws a water shuriken at the sludge villain, and it cuts Froppy out of the sludge. And then, it only cuts, a portion of the sludge out of Froppy. And, the sludge villain then takes into the streets for the heroes, and everyone starts gathering around. And All Might sees this, but he's used all of his time today. So, Deku keeps throwing water shurikens, but the heroes keep trying to hold him back and say, it's too dangerous, kid. It's too dangerous and stuff like that. And then All Might, eventually getting kind of frustrated, he uses some remaining power from today, and he throws his fist and makes a giant air wave, which throws the sludge villain back and saves Froppy. And everyone cheers for All Might. And Deku runs over to Froppy and it's like, "Are you okay, sis?" And they hug, and it's a really emotional moment. This is what Deku looks like also, guys. And imagine this Greninja, but taller. That's what Deku is. He's still blue. He's not green. That's why Inka was a bit confused on why this was her kid. So, anyway, so back to the emotional moment. So, Froppy, and Deku are having the emotional moment, and then they go back home. And the big Papa Frog, that's what we're gonna call him, and he asks, "What happened, kids?" And they tell him all about what happened. And then fast forward, actually no, not fast forward. So during the 10 months of training, Deku and Froppy are training. Froppy and Deku, they work on their tongue skills with each other. So Froppy shows him how to use his tongue efficiently, the scarf tongue, and Deku keeps learning new moves. So like water gun to water. Actually, no, we already had water pulse. So let's say, what moves can you learn? Okay, so let's say earthquake. Actually, no, not earthquake. I'm stupid. Let's do bite. And he still has tackle, and now he has water shuriken. So he's got his 4 moves. He cannot tap into Ash Greninja yet. Not yet. That'll be a little later down the line in a different part. So during the 10 months of training, they work on their tongue skills, and Deku and Froppy get stronger overall. They work on their physical strength and their mental strength, so they also do some studying. And that's when we get into the UA. So they're walking up to the campus, and they just admire how beautiful the UA entrance looks. So they go into the entrance exam, and Deku and Froppy, they do really good on the written exam. But now we're on the robot part. So when President Mike says 3, 2, 1, go, and does the like, there's no timer to being a hero skit, and they start running. And when they encounter robots, Deku throws some water pulses and shurikens at them. And Froppy, she does whatever Froppy does. I don't know how she would break some robots. Maybe some physical strength. Maybe some really strong tongue skills. Maybe something. Oh yeah, in normal shows, like, they'll have the rope and then they'll tie it around people's legs, and eventually it gets so tight they fall over. Maybe Froppy could do that. So, in the end, actually no, before that, Deku, while he's running to get some more points, because he doesn't know how much points you need to pass the exam, he encounters Uraraka on the trying to scramble to her feet, and then he sees the massive 0-pointer about to crush her, and then he starts throwing massive water shurikens trying to stop it, and then he gets an idea and just throws some water pulses at the rubble that Uraraka was under, and gets Uraraka out, and he uses his tongue to swing the like street lamp to street lamp to get Uraraka out of there. And 4 weeks later, Froppy and Deku also did some training during that. And one day, Mr. Frog gets something in the mail, and it's from UA High. And Deku and Froppy are super excited, and they see that they both made it in, and they jump with joy. And can we also just appreciate how cute this image is? Also, guys, that's where we'll be leaving it off. I hope you guys enjoyed. For part 2, maybe get 10 views in the first 3 days, or just get 30 views overall. That's how you'll get part 2. This is Good Boy Halo, signing off. Goodbye.
like the Atlantic, and I'm going